Glad you're here. Glad you guys hang out, and we have some really exciting things to talk about today. But I want to start with a question that I got from the live on Monday, which is a very good question, very normal, very for whoever is starting work with Flash. The question was how about what distance and how high I should put my flash if I'm shooting off camera flash, right? So off camera meaning the camera is over here and you have a light stand and the flash is on a light stand, right? And the flash is being triggered by, is being fired and controlled by the little trigger. So a lot of this, what you're gonna see with flash photography, I'm gonna be saying a lot of times, I'm gonna say depends. It all depends how much ambient light you have and how much which power you have on your flash, which kind of flash you're using, right? I usually start with a 45-degree angle in relationship to the camera. So if I'm here, let's say the camera is here, right? The screen is my subject, right? So I'm moving the light around here about 45 degrees and a little bit higher than the head, and I tilt it down a little bit. So that's usually my starting setup. So camera, subject over there, light over here, about 45 degrees from camera, and a little higher and pointing down. You don't want to light from the top. Well, let me rephrase this. Sometimes you do want light from the top, you want some dramatic stuff. So if you light from the top, just think about this. The light hits here, and your eye sockets are going to get shadow under your eyes, under your nose, under your chin, because the light's coming from here, right? So you're not going to have light on your eyes. And the eyes, when you're photographing, eyes are probably the most important thing that you're going to see, because our eyes go to the person's eyes, the first place where we look at the picture. So you want light on the eyes. So 45 degrees. Right? Now, if you want more drama, you can move that light a little bit to the side of the subject, right? Let's say I'm the subject, the light is over here, right? So let me move this way a little bit. If the photographer wants some more drama, you can move the light this way here, and you're going to have something like what you call the split light, where half of the face is lit and half of the face is dark. That's a very popular look for magazine, dramatic shots, and that type of stuff, like for fashion photography use that a lot. So the more you move to the side of the subject, the more split light you have. You can also do something that you can have a few light coming this way. Let's say you have your light over here and you move to the side, but you find after looking at the camera, you find that is a little bit too much drama. There's too bright here and too dark here. You can either move the light back a little bit, or you can put a reflector over here. And when I say reflector, it could be anything that's white and going to reflect light back to you, right? So, and then the reflector is going to work as a fill light. It's just going to fill a little bit, just like my face here. Look at my face here, right? So, Danny, do me a favor, babe. Can you go there and we have a ring light? So, like I said, I'm in the kitchen here. So, we have a ring light over there, right? So, do me a favor, babe. Bring the light towards the stove. See, watch the shadows on my face. Watch, right there. Good. So, you see, this is called a split lighting pattern.
It looks good.
Right? It looks good because it's hiding my ugly face, right? So I have a light here, and I have very little light over this side. I still have some here because, like I said, I have a light on my living room here on, and my walls are white, so it's bouncing light back. But let's say you don't have that, you can put some kind of white surface over here. It could be a piece of anything, styrofoam, white, and you also have those reflectors. Can you grab the reflector for me? It's on a thing there. I'm going to show you a reflector that you can bounce a little bit of light back. And then if you need that to be a little bit darker, just move the reflector back there And so this is the reflector I'm talking about, right? This guy over here, whoop, watch. This is a 5-in-1 reflector, right? So if we get this light and put it, watch my face, like no reflector, watch this side of the face. Now watch there. See, it has a silver side, which is going to throw even more light. Watch, right? Look how pretty, right? So no reflector, reflector, right? You could do those tricks. Actually, this is really good in shooting natural light to bounce back. And when you're shooting kids, it's really fun. When you finish, you get the kids, you say, do you have the bag there?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so at the end of your shoot, for you guys shoot, you get the kids and say, hey, you have to fit this thing inside this thing here, right? So then they have fun trying to do that.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks, but it took us a few tries. And slap on the face, you just like snap and slap on the face. So that's the thing. Like I said, I start with 45 degrees, a light a little bit higher, and pointing to the face, right? The light, I think I can go back there now. Thanks. Question. First question.
I got the question.
You got a question. Got a question. Dan's gonna be here monitoring the question for me. Flavio has a question.
What's the difference between a speed light and AD200 and Explore 600?
Okay, the question is, what's the difference between the speed light, AD200, and Explorer 600? The only thing that's different from them is power. How much power do they have? The light's the same, they all daylight balanced. By the way, those are all things that I use on my daily photography. And I should say this in the beginning, and I forgot. I'm going to be mentioning brands here, especially today. It's going to look like a Magmod commercial because we're going to use a lot of those today. But I'm not affiliated with any of those brands. Okay, this what I'm showing you here is what I use on my photography every single day. All right, I do have some samples here. So speed light, that's what it is. The speed light is only 50 watts. So a D200 it's called 200 for a reason, is 200 watts. So 50 watts, 200 watts. So this one here throws four times more light than this one. So 50 watts and 200 watts. And then we have a big boy here, that's the 600. Look at the size of this baby.
And it's heavy.
It is heavy.
I'm the one holding it.
So 200 and 600. So what, 2.5 more than this? No, 3 times more than this, right? So 200 and 600. That's the only difference, really. 50 watts, 200 watts, and 600 watts. That's all the difference. They throw the same type of light, the same temperature of light. They all daylight balance, just like you see the sun. Daylight balance, that's what it is, right? That's the only difference, actually. So it all depends. When I'm shooting outdoors, like that, I need to what we call overpower the sun. You know, you've seen on those pictures that I show you, the sky is really dark, everything is moody and dark around it. I need a lot of light to put on the model, on the subject, to make them pop. And this is my to-go guy. You know, depending on how much drama I want. If I don't want that much drama, I can use 1 or 2 of those, because if I put these 2 together, it's 400. And this is much easier to manage than the big boy there, right? And I'm shooting indoors. I most likely I'm going to be using with the 50 watts because there's no need for a lot of light. Okay, cool. Any more questions there?
Yeah, Delmar, he did this question here. All your lights you use, if you have in the back lightning, do you have one on the clients too?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Delmar. The question is, when I'm backlighting the client, do I have a light on the front of the client also? Depends what I'm going for. If I'm going for a silhouette, no, I don't. I just light the back. If I'm going for a normal look with some different backgrounds, if I want to change the background a little bit, create a separation light, then I'm lighting both ways, like it's a true light setup, right? And it's a great question because it's going to fit exactly what we're going to talk today. I'm going to show you several images and I'm going to break down the patterns the lighting patterns that I use for those images. Like I said, it's going to be some simple ones, right? For people who are just starting, and some a little bit more advanced. So we can get the people who are already a little bit familiar with Flash. One of the ways that we use light, especially when you're backlighting, is to separate the background from the person, so the person doesn't get lost in the background. So imagine here, you're shooting a subject. There is a woman with a long black hair, dark hair, and we have a black background. Her hair is going to merge to match with the background, and we're not going to be able to have that separation. That's when you create that backlight, right, to separate her from the background. Remember that we always want to highlight, doesn't matter how beautiful the background is, we always want to highlight the subject. The subject is your main focus when you're photographing. So let me put this image up so you can talk about it a little bit. Hang tight. So that image over there, Elizabeth, right? You see that hair around her head? See that light around her hair? That's a separation light. So she, at that point, Delmar, she has a light in front of her to light her face and one on the back. The goal of that backlight is just to separate her from the background. Now, try to imagine her without that light. Look at that background, how dark that background is, right? So, should blend with the background. So we will not be able to see when her head finishes and when the background starts, right? That's why we do that. And by the way, that picture was taken probably like late afternoon, or I don't really remember the time, but I know it was in the afternoon. There was a lot of light there. What we're doing here, we're just dialing the camera down to closing. Actually, in this case, I shot high-speed sync, which is something that we're going to talk about, so don't worry about that now. So high speed and a little bit open because the background is really blurry right now. And this was taken on the street, right? We're on the sidewalk. What you see there on her left are cars actually parked there. That's why I needed to blur that background. So there's another one that I can show you of her. It's the same idea, but now she's wearing some type of a hood. And what that hood like was red. I think we threw a red gel in front of the flash on the back to create that red look around it. What do you guys think? Kind of simple technique, but it creates a separation light, right? Or some people call hair light, backlight, hair light. There's all kinds of names for it, but the goal is to really separate your subject from the background, and you can go whatever crazy you want to go with that. But see how that background is dark over there? Because we always want to separate our background, right? Background darker, subject lighter, because your eyes go where the subject, where the light is, and that's why the subject is brighter than the background. Okay.
So Delmar is asking, how do you know your power?
That is a good. I know my power because I'm powerful. No, just kidding. That's why I know my power. No, I'm just kidding. Power. Let me put another image here. So how do I know my power? Well, I'll tell you this. Nowadays, I know
From practice.
because I've been doing this for a long time, right? So I usually land pretty close to where I want to be, but it's trial and error, What we need to remember is that, remember the time of film photography, where every time you clicked cost you money? It doesn't cost any money today. So just take a picture, look at it. If it's not good enough, you make the changes. So we have to take chances. The only way we're going to learn is if we make mistakes. And I made a lot of mistakes when I started. I'll tell you, a lot of mistakes. It would take a long time for me to buy all those lights and stuff. But with practice, we'll get it. You'll get it. So it's important for us to keep trying, and believing that we're going to get it. Because it's not that complicated, folks. But you need to focus on what you're doing right. Okay? So Delmar is saying, I don't know power, so I'm usually shooting TTL, then I press TCM and it gives me the power. Okay, first thing to do, get out of the TTL mode. That's the first thing. TTL means through the lenses. It's like an auto mode for your flash. And every time I'm talking photography, professional photography, every time I hear those type of things that you let in the camera or the flash control the environment, it's always a big, I shake my head on that one, right? I mean, I shoot manual 99% of the time, and my flashes are always manual. I need to control the light. The camera is not thinking for me. The camera is not seeing what I'm seeing here on the top on my head, right? That's why I need to control the light. We need to have full control of the light. So that's why I'm saying, get out of the TTL mode and start experimenting with flash. And flash is simple. It's going up or down, right? It's go up, more power, down, less power. It's not that complicated. You just need to lose that fear and start controlling it. It's very important that you do that, and you're going to see the amount of possibilities that are going to open as you start shooting manual flashes. Okay? Any more questions?
Yes. Donavanda.
Okay.
She is asking, what's your favorite place to photograph? Indoors or outdoors?
That's a good question. Tough one. I don't think I have a favorite place to photograph. I like beautiful locations. Doesn't matter if it's indoors. It doesn't matter if it's outdoors. It really doesn't matter. Outdoors, I really don't have a favorite location. Wherever my clients feel comfortable and wherever we're having fun. I don't like much photographing places where they restrict what you can do. We shoot in a church, for instance. So we shoot a wedding in a church. On a church where you can't use flash. In some of the chapels, they don't let you go here. They don't let you go there. I mean, I was shooting a wedding this weekend. At Duke Chapel, and they are very strict where we have to go. And I got excited, and I went to the location I wanted to go. They came up there and said, "You need to move back." So it's kind of, the chapel is beautiful. I like shooting there, but there's those restrictions that sometimes limit a little bit. But that's just the way it is. We just have to deal with it. So favorite location, I really don't have one. Right? Okay, cool. Let's hold on the questions a little bit and let's move into the subject matter today. Today we're going to talk about the flash, right? So we just showed flash separation. How we use the backlight to separate our background from the subject from the background. The subject will stand out a little bit more. And that is just like one light on the front and one light on the back. That's all it is. You can use gels with that backlight if you want to, but that is very simple, very easy to do, and very effective. Actually, very different. You can ring light, but you have to experiment. Don't think that you already know it. You have to experiment, because how far you put the flash, how much power. This always going to depend on how much drama you create in your photography, how much ambient light you have. There's not a magic number that I can give you. I wish there was, but there isn't a magic number that I can give you that's going to make it work beautifully. You just have to keep trying, right? That's setup number one. And then now we also have how to create silhouette, right? So let me show you this image here.
Our favorites.
So that is a silhouette, right? And I'm going to show another image from this guy. You're going to see the scene. This is one light setup. His right hand is holding his collar. He has a tie. His right hand is holding on the tie, and he is holding a light. I think was one of these AD200 that has a gel in it, a red gel in it. He's holding it and pointing to the wall. So the light hits the wall, and because he doesn't have a light on the front, he'll get all blacked out silhouette like that. That's very simple to create. You can create this in almost any time, any location, as long as you have enough, a powerful enough light to make it work that way. But that's how you create a silhouette, right? So now this is one thing that you can do, right? Take that shot or take another shot with one light in front of him and the red background behind him. Now he's going to be lit, and then to create the silhouette, all you have to do, just turn off your light in the front, and then you have that picture. You can create two different looks in the same location, same everything, without moving much. And I'll tell you, if you do something like that at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a sunny day, when you show your client, they're going to go like, wow, how the heck did you do something like that, right? So yeah, so it's not that complicated, right? Just again, keep trying, all right?
So Delmar is asking, with that image, do you put mag mod on there with the gel?
That's right. You're right on, Omar. So it's this guy over here with, what are my gels? They were here. Oh, they're here. With one of this in it. And because this guy over here, it has a gel holder. You can put your gel right there. And you just put it here. That's what it is. It's holding it towards the wall. One thing that you need to be aware of, so you want more light on, you want his face more than everything else. You just ask the subject to point up. You have to do a few shots to try to experiment, right? But that's how you do this. So you put the light back. He's holding the light, hiding behind him, right? But key to the silhouette shot, this is key. It needs to be sideways. He needs to be completely 90 degrees to the camera. So because you want to show this profile here. If you take a silhouette like this is all you're going to show, right? You always want to, unless, I've seen this picture, which is beautiful also, you can do that. Let's say there is a beautiful sunset over there, right? There's a beautiful sunset. You get the subject looking back to the sunset, and then you can take a picture from behind, take a wide picture. The subject is going to be, you dial down your aperture, you cut the ambient light, and you shoot that picture. The subject's going to be dark, in a silhouette, and the sky is going to be beautiful there. That's one way to do that.
Yeah.
All right, Delmar?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense? Yes. So that's the silhouette shot. And then, on that, I think it was in the same spot, or it was like a few feet behind him, a few feet to the left, we walked over and we create this very cool dramatic that changed the background completely. Let me show you this guy. This guy. Same subject, same guy, same location, same time, same everything. Same location, actually. Look at the bricks there. Right? So same idea of the separation light, but now the light is turned to the wall. Same idea, guys. Same equipment, same thing. Very easy. One of these guys with a gel, and one of these guys. You can. This is just a gel. It's just like a piece of plastic that goes in there. That's colorful. The light is on a light stand and pointing to the wall. And there's one light in front of him. That's what it is. That's how it is. But that's how you create that image, right? But what I want to call your attention to that picture, let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. Hold on.
See the drama in his
No, I
face?
can't. I don't know if you can see the drama of the light in his face. It's almost a split light there. You see? My light, my key light, the one that's in front of him, was really way to the side there. See how the right side of his face is much more lit than the left side? That's not a mistake. That is intentional. It's intentional because it's a dramatic look. Mood, right? Look at the mood of that picture. It's a dramatic background. It's a dramatic lighting, and his pose is dramatic. See how serious he is there? Imagine if I have him on that pose like with a big smile, make some fun thing. Wouldn't match, right? Everything needs to go together. When you're lighting a subject, you need to know where I'm going to go with this, right? Dramatic pose, dramatic light, right? That's how flash photography will change the way you photograph, because now you're thinking about all of this stuff and create those beautiful images. But you can't do that with natural light. It's hard. So that's why I keep going back to this point. If you want to differentiate yourself from everybody else, you don't want to play on that pool that everybody's playing. You want to be outside looking in and doing your stuff here, and let them fight each other, and you separate yourself by doing that. All right? So that is a different look from that same location that I showed from the silhouette. Same subject, just turn him around. I think I did this one first and then I did the other one. I usually that's what my process is. Okay?
So before you go to the next,
Okay.
Ron is here with us.
Ron, how you doing, brother? Ron just opened his studio. Congratulations, my man. Really exciting, and I'm happy for you.
And
What up?
he has a question.
Okay, cool. Shoot.
How do you avoid light spill from the front light onto the wall?
How do you avoid light spill from the front light to the wall?
By side lighting him?
No. Light spill is going to be controlled by a grid. Through a grid, this guy here is one type of grid, right? What it does, it controls the light, right? So light travels in this direction. Light travels like this. When you throw the grid on one of these guys here, you can do this. You can do the grid and this guy, right? So the grid here will make the light travel a little bit more centered, a little bit more focused, instead of going like this and spill. The spill is like when the light hits the subject and keeps moving everything and keeps lighting everything on the back. So use a flash, use a grid to control your light spill. And also, if your light is still hitting the wall, you have too much power here. What you do, you move your main light, your key light, closer to the subject, right? There's a name for that rule. What is it? The inverse square law. That's exactly what it is. A lot of people make they have equations to calculate this. Know what it is? If you move your light closer to your subject, you have to decrease your power, and you have less power on your flash. The light will not travel as much. It's not going to hit the wall. So let's say if my subject is here, and if I get the light here, so if I have this distance, the amount of power that I need to have on this flash is big. That's going to hit the subject and keep traveling and hit my background. But if I go over here, the power that I use on this flash is really low, so it's going to hit your subject and die before it hits the wall. Make sense, Ron? And grids always help. Grids always help, right? First thing, when I want to control the light spill, I put a grid on. And if it still doesn't work, then I mess with the distance of the light. That's what you do. But again, with practice, you walk into certain locations, you already know your light's going to spill all over, and you need a grid. Like we shot a wedding a few months back, where everything on that venue was glass, like all over, right? There was glass all over. I knew,
Mirrors.
and there's mirrors, glasses, and everything. It's a beautiful, 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 beautiful location here in Raleigh. But everything was narrow. The whole area was narrow. I knew I wouldn't have a whole lot of room. So first thing I did, I walk in and look at it, grids on every single flash, because that's what's going to go to avoid the light spill. So with practice, you start seeing this way before you start. And if you use this system here, okay, doesn't work. I don't need the grid here. Just remove it. Simple like that. Okay. So we have, I have my cheat sheet here. So we have light for separation, and you have a light to change the background, right? Change the background with flash. And let me show you another, this was from an engagement session that we did a few years back. Let me show you this guy over here, which talks a little bit about composition, also talks about lighting. Let me show you this. This was the scene that you had to photograph, right? Engagement session, a winery. That was the scene. I shot that image and I look at it, and okay, that's all right. It's too bright, there's too much stuff going on in that scene, right? And this is the direction I decided to go with it. This is the direction I decided to go with that picture. Totally different, right? Of course, I don't have the same composition anymore, but it's still the same door, same location. All right, so what's happening there? You can see that, hopefully you can see ring light around them, that ring light that separates them from the background. That is Danny squatting behind them, holding a flash, trying to hide behind her dress so she doesn't show in between them, right? Pointing to them.
Yeah.
That's one light setup. That's one light. Second light is on a light stand with one of these guys, probably a speed light because I wasn't too far, with one of these guys and a gel in it, lighting the door. Because I knew when I saw that, I knew I want some moody vibe to that. They're wearing black, she's black and white, it's very dramatic, we create some beautiful image for them, but I want that vibe there where I could really dark it down as much as I could and still keep them lit, and those lights that you see lit there were done in post-production, Photoshop. The two chandeliers or light that you have there. This picture was taken what time of the day?
It was at 2 in the
It was like 2 in the afternoon or 3 in the afternoon, something like that.
A lot of light.
Right? There was a lot of light bouncing. It was hard to control. I said, you know what, let's kill that light and let's create something dramatic. So one light in front of them to light them. Danny, what we call those, what Danny does, like VAL, the voice activated light stand, right? Because it's much easier for her to go there and hold that light for me than I put on a light stand and keep moving the light stand all over. So Dan is hiding back there, pointing the light to them, and there's another light, just like this one here, pointing back to the background with a grid, and not a grid, it was a gel and one of those mag spheres on there. Okay?
So there's a comment here from Delmar. He said, thank you. He thought there was a Snoot instead of green. Yeah,
no, it was still agree. We actually going to talk about the Snoot at the end, which is really, really cool. We can create some really, really cool thing. I think there's another question there, right?
And Ron saying, do you always use the mag boob on front on front light if not using light boxes.
Not using soft boxes. Yeah. So this is called a mag sphere, but the nickname of this on the photography market is called mag boobs because it looks like a boob. Right? So, and I've seen some communities, like some women get offended by this, so it's just a joke. Funny story. I was shooting a wedding with a friend of mine, and we finished the wedding. I was actually second shooting for him on Outer Banks with Doug. Many of you know Doug Arcos. And at the end, I mean, he has this, I have this, and there's no label, there's nothing. At the end of the wedding, we put our stuff, separate our gear because everything was mixed up. His wife is in the car, and we back there trying to figure out what's mine, what's his. And he goes like,
"Where's your boob?"
I'm missing one boob. I'm missing one boob. And I'm like, well, I have an extra boob here. That might be yours. And his wife goes like, what you guys talking about? What, the boob over there, boob over here, boob, what's happening back there? And we just laughed and kept separating our stuff. But yeah, so, and the question is if I always have this guy. I usually, I will tell you this, Ronald, 90% of the time I have this guy here if I don't have a soft box. It's either this guy or a soft box. I only photograph like bare if I don't have enough power. Like there were situations where we're shooting like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, like, you know, oh God, it was a hot day and the sky was so bright. I had to dial my camera. I was shooting like f22 and I had to have 2 of those together to light the model, like side by side holding together, because 1/600 wasn't enough to light the model because we're killing so much ambient light. But and then I had to shoot like 2 of them like bare flash like that. Okay. It's either the light, either the mag sphere or a mag box, which is the soft box that I use. All right.
Or mag box.
So we talked about flash for separation, flash for silhouette, change the background. This one here that you can see the scene and the. So this was the scene, right? What we could see. Oh, where is it? Oh, I got out of my folder.
Just don't turn off the live.
Huh?
Don't turn off the live.
No. So that's the scene and the result you saw there. So this is our shot. We did some work with that picture too because I like this sky, but the other one was the big hit with them. Because people don't expect that. That's what they remember from that day. Oh, it was so bright, so sunny. How did you get this picture, right? This is the impact that the transformation that you try to create in the photography, and the transformation that you try to to see and understand, right? So from here we went to this one. See how much more moody it is? All right, so we did that. Now, I'm going to, this is a little bit more advanced technique. We're going to do, it's not a touch screen.
Yeah.
We're going to go 1, 2, 3 flashes now. Look at this picture. It keeps defaulting to the wrong folder. I have this all organized, I swear. This one. I'm gonna let you guys look at that picture a little bit. Put 10 minutos para mim, por favor. So, what happens in that picture? I'm trying to not go over 1 hour of live like we did yesterday because it's going to shut me down again.
You only have 10 more minutes.
So we got 10 more minutes. So put your questions if you have them. So what happens in that picture? We walk into the studio to work
Oh, sorry.
She put like 1 second. We walk into this studio to work, and everything was white. There was like nothing. White walls, white ceiling, there was nothing to do. She's against a white background at this point. How did you make this interesting? How did you make this interesting? Otherwise, you would be behind a white background, right? 3 lights set up. 1 speed light on the ground with on the left of the picture a blue gel in it, and these guys in it. Watch, these are masks that throw the pattern on the wall, and I use this one. Right? These are metal, steel, whatever that's made for. Who cares? This goes on the flash, so we can have like a flash holder. A flash holder, something to hold the flash. A gel holder, it's here somewhere. That's fine. We put them together like this, right? And it projects that pattern on the wall. So there is one here on the left, on the ground, pointing up like this, pointing to the wall. There is another one on the other side without a mask, just this is the, thank you, this is the gel holder. You can put these two together inside here, together with the gel. Like this, right? It goes through, paints it, and creates the pattern, right? So, yeah, Rachel was there when you did that shot. Those masks, gel. So one on the ground, pointing to the wall with a blue gel. Another one over here on the right side with just like a red gel. And where blue and red meets, becomes magenta. And the pattern is thrown by this guy over here. This is how you make a white wall, a white boring wall, interesting. Okay? Now, the caveat is, in order to make those masks work, we need one of these guys. I was messing with them, now I lost it. Over here. You need one of these guys. This is called a mag beam, right? This has 2 functions. It projects the light, depending how you use it. It has a lens in it. The lens is like reached one side and flat and plain on the other side. So you put this guy, the mask and the gel. There's a way to put it in here, right? There's a sleeve that you slide in here, like this, and you put this on your flash. But in order to work with the mask, it needs to be collapsed. So you just collapse it like this, and you put it over here. And that's how it goes. The mask only works with this mag beam in it, because it has this thing called a Fresnel, which is the same technology that they use for, this thing's called a Fresnel. I don't know if they can pronounce it right. So F-R-E-N-E-L, or Fresnel. This is the same, she's laughing at me. This is the same technology they use in lighthouses, right? So use one of this, the ridge side towards the flash, and that is how you create those masks. Now think about the possibilities. You can do anything you want there now. I mean, you just open a wedding. We are wedding photographers. So what happens? Every single wedding, what happens on every single wedding? They put the cake on the worst part of the reception hall. Doesn't matter, it's the darkest part, the most boring backgrounds. Now you get one of those behind the cake, like the wall, creating different patterns. Doesn't need to be that pattern. It could be something like, like this, or like this, or you can create a window with this one over here. Right? You can make a cool pattern there. Now you have the cake and you have that beautiful pattern on the wall. So it again is all about your creativity, right? What you want to do with that. Okay, and I have another one of these pictures here to show you. Quick. That guy there. You see how I missed a little bit the mask? But that is exactly what it is. There's one flash on the ground pointing up like this with a red, probably like a red gel in it, right? And there's another flash behind her with this setup and with this mask. Looks like this one. With this mask on it. And that's how you create the pattern on the back. This is great for cake, behind the cake. You put there, you line up, you put the flash, the height of the cake, you create that pattern behind the cake. And of course you're gonna be smart enough, which colors of the wedding, all the bridesmaids are dressed in green, so you put a green gel or a magenta gel, whatever color the wedding it is. So that's how you get creative with that, right? Okay, last one, last but not least. So no questions so far? We're good?
Well,
everybody's understanding everything?
Just a comment from Rachel.
Rachel. Yep.
I honestly never would have thought about doing a pattern and color combo like that, because she was there with us.
Yeah, she was there with us when we created this image. So yeah. You can play whichever way you want to. Yeah.
Next time we will do it together.
But this you got to be careful, because this takes practice, a lot of practice. It took me a while to figure this out. The distance, the power, it is complicated. This is not that's why it's a more advanced technique, right? It's you got to be careful with that one. Okay, you got to practice. Not impossible. I do it. If I do it, you can do it too.
First time you did was getting ready.
Was getting ready? That's right.
With
bride was getting ready. You got to do that.
On the
yeah.
wall,
so yeah, practice that. And this is easy to practice. Right? Just put it in your living room, put it against the wall, and shoot it, and practice that. And the height, where it's gonna go, it needs to be centered. On that picture, I missed that a little bit, but on this one here, watch. That's another modifier I want to talk to you about. So it is a Snoot. A Snoot is this guy. Right? It creates, so you put this in a flash. This is how much light is going to be thrown out. This much here, nothing more. Right? You create that beam of light, and that's what's lighting her face only. This is a black background. We shot this picture right here on that wall. Right? So black background, well, not on the wall. We had a black paper background, but that was right here.
It was a studio.
Yeah, I didn't paint the wall black. So black background with a Snoot high pointing to her, like this, right? And one of these guys, where is it? Here. With this mask on and the red gel on the wall, on the paper, so to create those lines there. And then that's what we get.
So Delmar is asking, do you need flash in front if you're doing that?
Oh yeah, how are you going to control the ambient light with this?
But you only using that.
He's asking if I need a flash in the front.
Yeah.
You need flash in the front to light. Yeah, you need the flash to create this. Otherwise, maybe I misunderstood the question, because otherwise you can't light her, right? But that's what it is.
Yeah.
Right. What you need to be aware with this guy. This is another guy that needs practice, because you have such a narrow beam of light, you're gonna miss the face. So the way to do this: get your model, see how she's looking up, because this guy is high there, right? And the beam of light is getting her, okay? And I just keep like the light on the light stand, and I ask her to close her eyes, and I'm just testing the light. I'm just firing. I'm pushing the test button on the, look. This is how much light we get there. Why it's so low? 128. Let me increase the power here, you can see it. So, yeah, this is how much light. So you need to be very, very, very precise with this. So what I do, I get the model in position, pose her, and tell her, close your eyes. And I keep pushing the test light until I get it right, and I'm watching where the light hits her. And when I have it in place, I just tell her, don't move, leave the light there, boom, take the picture. 1 shot, 2 shots, and you're done. And you create this beautiful, I mean, at least I think it's beautiful.
So Ron is asking, is that Snoot higher than her face and aiming down?
Yes, the snoot's over here. That's why she's looking up, right? So the snoot's like this. It's really, really high.
Usually you make the model look up.
Yeah, I like to make them look up. So they need to look at the light. This needs to be pointed to the eyes. So that's how you create that.
And,
okay?
And Omar is asking, with Magmod mask?
No. 2 light setup. The snoot doesn't have a mask. The goal of the snoot is just to light the face. And there is another light behind her pointing to the background with the mask and the gel. Like this, with the mask and the gel. So this light here on the back of her doing the background, and this light here with the snoot lighting her. Okay? So snoot on your model, mask and gel on the wall to create that pattern. So as you can see, you can do a lot of it. It's all what you can see inside here. It's all you can see inside here. Is this, are you gonna go out there, get all of this and nail it the first time? No, you're not. Do not get frustrated because it is practice. You get to practice, practice, and practice, right? Get a model, get your wife, get your kids to do that, bribe your kids to pose for you, right? And you're gonna get it, all right? So I hope you have enjoyed this live. I really, really enjoyed. I was really, really excited to talk about this topic because there's a lot of creativity that goes into this type of shots. And again, you can create as much as you want. It's all about what you can produce, right? Having the right equipment, having the right mindset, and practicing, you can make it happen. And if you don't have any questions, I want to thank you so very much for watching our second live. And I apologize for the delay, but we had some technical difficulties here. But I'm glad we went through them and we made it happen. Thank you so very much. If you guys hang on for a second, I need to do something because this is going to be put on YouTube. I'm just going to sign a little bit and do a final line. So thank you guys for watching the YouTube channel. If you like the content, please hit the subscribe button, either here or here, I don't know where it is. And follow us on Instagram at Clay Souza Official. Souza is spelled like S-O-U-Z-A Official. Clay Souza Official. And let's start our hashtag 808 with Clay, because we do every Monday and Wednesday. We do at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time. We're doing our live sessions on flash photography, and our Instagram feed every single day. I'm dropping some knowledge about flash photography there. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you guys, appreciate it. If you have any questions, please send me a DM. We're here to answer your questions, to help you on this journey. And if you have some friends that need help with flash, point them to this. Point them to this live. Point them to our Instagram channel, Clay Souza Official, and let's get going with the hashtag 808 with Clay, right? And I'll see you next Wednesday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye.